item is the ordinance 26-002 pay scale amendment, second reading. Do I have a motion to accept that? Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Next was ordinance 26-003, ordinance upsizing water lines from 6-inch to 8-inch along Kentucky 11 and Kentucky 213. This is our second reading. Do I have a motion for that? And a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. I believe, Francis, you're here for our Rumpke, discuss the bids that you have submitted to us. I think some of our council members had some questions about that.
Yeah.
So, I know you got all the answers, so.
I would agree with that for now.
Okay. Yeah, we noticed again, there's no fuel and fuel.
Yes.
And that's kind of the choice
Have we
that's been
been,
given to us.
Have you presented no fuel before?
Yeah, you all originally had no fuel, and then the last bid, it went to fuel. And then I wanted to make sure you had both options this time to choose between.
And just for my clarification, no fuel means surcharges, right? No surcharge.
When it says no fuel, that means that's the rate.
That's the rate, no
That's
surcharge.
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, I did a little something. I put this together kind of a side-by-side comparison, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Thank you.
I did it real quick, but I think my math is correct. I've not been, I had a little bit of time before I headed here, so I've been trying to.
I done one too.
I got an extra.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
the average diesel, we put a fuel surcharge chart in there, to kind of help, see what, if the Midwest average of fuel is this, then the fuel surcharge is gonna be this. The average, last year, it stayed pretty steady. It went down slightly, but it was right around .165.
Okay.
So I did the rates based on, it's a flat rate, no fuel whatsoever. The rate plus the fuel at the average, which was .165. And then also your current rate with an average fuel rate of .165. So,
Okay. 16.5.
So basically it's about 50 cents difference.
yes, it's
Right at.
currently, I actually pulled your all's last bill, and it was $17.99 per resident.
Right.
And that was like .162 fuel. So currently $17.99. If you did it with fuel, it would go up to $18.64. It would be cheaper.
Yeah.
And again, these rates could go down. They could go up, but they could go down as well,
You mean with the fuel?
with the fuel.
We haven't seen that much
Yeah.
in my years here.
Yeah, it's been pretty
It's been
steady.
minor.
Yeah.
Pretty minor. Okay.
I have a question about the bill.
Yes.
Because I had Teresa pull me last month. The 3 surcharges, can you tell me which one is for residential and which?
Yes, Teresa asked me that, and I had to look into it myself. So there's RS,
RS is
which
residential.
residential. RL is the rear load dumpsters, the
Okay.
dumpsters that pretty much the same trucks that service residential will service those dumpsters.
Okay.
And then I think the other one is FL,
FL.
and that's the
Front
trucks.
loader.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure why it breaks down like that, but
I was pretty sure on resident, but I didn't know.
yeah, I wanted to make sure of that, but yes, that is correct.
Anyone else?
Does anybody on our water, do they all pay through us, or does that pay through the county, or do they pay through us? Okay, I wasn't sure.
And now, if they have an extra dumpster or an extra
I pay for
turbine,
it.
you pay run.
Yeah, I pay that.
And that can't be billed here, right?
If you guys wanted to take it over, but I wouldn't recommend it. Because because if a can disappears or, you know, they can call us and
Okay.
that would be a lot for you all to take the calls on, honestly.
And it's not much.
Yeah, there's not very many. I
And
mean,
it's going to 4, did I read correct?
yes, yes.
What's that, Tom?
An extra.
Extra can.
Extra can.
I've got an
Usually
extra.
like one's not enough and you get a second one.
Pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
Order.
Okay.
Anybody else, anything else?
And when is our contract up?
At the end of this month, last day.
Ends the end of this month.
Yes.
This month
No,
or
it's
March?
April.
I'm sorry, March, I
Yeah.
apologize, I apologize. I don't even know what month it is, I apologize. I've been driving a lot lately. so
I bet
apologize.
you, it sounds to me that's what you've been doing.
Yeah,
I think, for me, I've just got to dig in a lot more.
Yeah, this was just a discussion.
I was.
We're glad, thank you so much
No
for being here.
problem.
For the fuel, this is helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, very helpful.
All good? Good? Anybody else?
I can tell you the rates that we had the 3 years prior was 14.70 and 15.44 without the fuel charge. So
yes.
it was really $5 or $6 for the, is
Uh,
about what it averaged out.
$17.99, with that, you know, it's $14.44 plus, yeah.
So when you see that 14 is the old one, don't think
Yeah.
that's it. There's a full fuel charge has to
Right,
be
yeah,
added. So
right.
it didn't go up $6.
It looks like it's maybe, if you go by the average of everything, it's 65 cents increase.
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to ask, are you all willing to negotiate on your price?
So that was a bid rate. I don't look at the numbers, so I apologize. I would have to go and ask, you know, what can we do? What is there?
Times are tough on people, and when you all raise your rates, we have to raise our rates. or
Right,
have to
right.
compensate.
And, you know, I'm not for sure if there's things in the you know, that's being asked for that can be negotiated on or can be removed or added or something like that. It's something I could certainly ask about.
Yeah, I would just like to have all options. I mean, if we need it, you know, whatever, but I think I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask.
No,
And
absolutely.
If we
I
can
agree.
look at it, fully understand what we're doing. So.
Right. No, and that's, I'm not sure when your next meeting is, but that is something I can, you know.
Second Thursday in March, I believe
March
we'll vote on
12th.
it.
I can
March
have
12th.
something presented to you and,
Okay.
you know, maybe that could be on the discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
March 12th.
I'll do,
6 o'clock.
I will absolutely go back and see if there's something they can look into.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Francis. Move on to the next one is a discussion on tourism. Interesting thing about this is Eddie and I, when we were elected, he became the judge executive, I became the mayor. For some reason, we started talking about tourism. And in particular, how it would benefit us if we could somehow bring city and county together, a joint tourism commission. Now that was, well, we've been 3 years and a month and a half. And so we finally come to, you know, to the point where we're gonna discuss it. You guys can involved. I see some from the magistrates here. Appreciate you being here. Stanton Tourism. Good to have Pete here tonight and stuff. So we'll begin kind of the discussion, and then, you know, we'll open it up for, you know, input from any and everyone. My particular position is I believe we are better together. That's kind of the value that, you know, I've lived with and I have taught, and I believe that it is best. And of course, you know, that's important in terms of lots of things, you know, unity, especially when you think about regionalization. Frankfurt loves it when we work together because grants and those things are much more available. So we have been in discussion, you know, over several different things, and then we even put some things together, but we just want to open it up here, and I'll start with Jason over here, your thoughts.
Myself, Before I ever decided to get involved, you know, with community service, I always wondered, you know, why we had so many tourism commissions within a smaller county. I always just thought it made more sense myself to be, as you said, I guess, united or, and it seems to me like it does make more sense when working with the county, as we do on a lot of things, with getting help and resources from Frankfurt. So I like the idea of a joint Stanton Powell County Tourism Commission myself. So that's where I stand.
Dr. Larry?
Yeah, I think it's great Stanton, you know, and the county goes together. Like you said, it'll help us get grants. It's got to be a win-win situation, I think. I'm all for it.
Okay.
Yeah, with
Dixie?
the growth that we've had lately, within the last 2 or 3 years compared to when we first separated, because we were one and we separated, you know, there's just so much more going on and so many tourists and so many possibilities that I think, you know, being one that would be just streamline everything and, you know, just, you know, be able to work together and get some big ideas going, bigger things and you know, pull people that come here to something we have here, to push them into the gorge area, and the gorge area to push them down here for activities we have. So I think it'd be you know, beneficial for everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Billy?
I think I obviously support it, and I've got folks on both sides that may be considered for it, but it comes down to one thing for me, and that's an efficient use of taxpayer money. And what I think happens with this, you look at some of these, and I even, before I ever ran for council, I've heard this, I was in the law enforcement community talking to people, you know, we're too small to have too many commissions, and it's not just Stanton, Powell County, I won't throw them under the bus, but Clay City has a tourism commission as well, so there's actually 3 in our small county. You look at some of these other places, I know Winchester, Clark County has a joint tourism, Georgetown, Scott County, and they're much larger than us, and they're joined together. And the reason for that is, to give you a little backstory, we collect a restaurant tax in Stanton, and we have the abilities to do that based on KRS, based on our city side. Only we can do it. So that money would get shifted up to the county, and then we would have some agreements in place where the county would continue to support some of our festivals and some of the contributions that goes back into our city park. But the county also comes out ahead there as they get the other part of that revenue that will drastically increase their budget. And when we're talking about stuff from Frankfurt, they have more revenue that could come in for these matching grants, and it's just more efficient. You have one executive director that has his staff. They already promote Stanton, and our tourism does a lot. I'm not saying they don't. You know, they've done a lot over the years. They've grown it, but I think that it comes down and where we have both sides willing to work together on it. That's the hardest part about all this, is getting the county and the city to come together as one. Yeah. And if you have the people in place that are willing to do it, then I think it's just a much more efficient use of taxpayer money, which is what we're put in here to kind of do. Despite any personal feelings we may have against it or for it, it's an efficient use of taxpayer money to combine.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah, you pretty much covered all of it. I'm definitely in favor of it. Any decision I make personally on this council should be to the benefit of the people in the city of Stanton. I try to take a personal, political out of it. It's with the budget, with the efficiency of combining city with county and working together, I think we can grow a lot faster and more efficiently. When I first won council seat my first term, before I ever got sworn in, I had people coming to me and telling me, you've got to get city and the county together. It makes no sense to have all these different tourism commissions. That's before I was ever sworn in, that's all I've ever heard. I've never heard any negative about, keeping separated, you know, whatever, versus going together. Everybody thinks we should be united. You spoke about Clay City. You know, I didn't know there was 3 tourism commissions in this county till I
Like,
got on
correct me if
city
I'm
council.
wrong, but they
Yeah.
have their own, correct?
Yeah.
I think they
They
do. So, which was really kind of shocking to me, and I kept thinking, with the growth of the gorge, and it seems like a lot of things that our local, that our city tourism was doing was also kind of geared towards the gorge and the county itself. It only made sense to go ahead and commit to that, and to commit the money and the budgets so that they're more efficient. To me personally, it's a win-win for the city and the county, but, we all try to, I know they're the same way, we all try to do what's in the best interest of the people in this town, and, without personal or political favor, and that's, to me, that's what we need to do, we need to go forward with it.
Good. Tommy?
Well, after following 5 of them, I think I must say that they didn't. So
Little hard, isn't it?
I can say I was here when we split, so I may have a different view. But my biggest thing now is, you know, then versus now, we couldn't work together then. We've came a long way. Just, for instance, at Winterfest, you see county tourism people out there. You see them donating stuff to help us. So that didn't happen how many years it was.
Years ago.
It came down to a point where we couldn't get the funds in time, you know. It was a whole matter, and I think we set an agreement, saying you're gonna get, you know, make time, we get paid, you get paid this many days later. We won't have that issue either way, but I think the biggest thing is we can actually work together compared to not being able to years ago.
Okay. I know, Dodd, you kind of working and walking us through this, could you address some of the things? And then we'll open up to questions or comments from.
Well, you know, it's an opportune time to have this discussion. I know the executive director of the current tourism has resigned, so, you know, that we're not locked in with 2 directors, so the time is appropriate. It's just a matter of having an interlocal agreement, and then an ordinance, and it's not a super big deal. You know, I would suggest maybe a joint meeting with the fiscal court and the county to, you know, go over this, draft up the documents and get everything finalized and have something for y'all to vote on and consider. But it sounds like there's a policy consensus on this body. But obviously anything that's done is gonna take both bodies. And maybe the judge could, you know, address that in another time. But it looks like he's interested because he's here.
So, two.
Yeah, two
actually.
Okay, yeah, and had one that had to leave. So,
From having to-
so, you know, maybe this is, maybe there is a consensus out there. And as far as the legalities of it, you can create things, you can change things. You all, as I've said many a time, you hear me say this all the time, you all are the policymakers and you get to make policy. And so if this is a policy that you all want, then I will endeavor to get it done in a legal fashion, working with the county attorney on his end. So that it's not a big, nothing's a big deal. We can get anything done.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll open it up to the audience. Eddie, well, Eddie, I'll let you start.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think that the merger would be great, providing that we have all our ducks in a row.
Correct.
And one of the things that I have said from the time that we started discussing this is I want our executive director involved in it, you know, because we might not be able to get his head out, but he's seconded it. And
Lean forward.
It would, I think it'd be an asset to have him to lead as far as executive director, for the tourism
you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak for Pete. I've worked with him professionally, in some projects at my last job, and I've been around events that he's been at. And I think he's an excellent person to represent the merge tourism. Obviously, I don't feel like I'm a decision maker on that, but I just wanted to express that I'm in full support of it.
And that's one of the promises I made when we first started this. I'll
Yeah.
make sure that,
Now, you also, they're starting to add some staff, are you?
Yeah, I actually just hired a new assistant director about 6 hours ago.
Okay.
So yes, we are making strides over there as well.
Yeah, and that would have to be addressed too, with regard to moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Michael has high praises of him. My husband, that had to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was repeating it.
Yeah.
Now, be careful what you said now. No. No, I know you too, Pete. And then we've, I haven't really totally worked with you, but I've watched you, and everybody I've talked to speak highly of you, so it's
I
great.
appreciate that.
All right, anyone else?
Lacey and I be involved in this?
Well, Eddie and I both can address that. We talked with, Bobby, and he pretty much, we talked a couple times, he said,
they won't do it.
won't
They
do
were
it.
invited and welcomed.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
noticed
they've been extended,
And just
but he said he didn't think it would work.
didn't want it.
Well, his exact word is no.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be tactful.
But you can legally do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
one city in the county?
You can.
As far as I'm aware, I was gonna double check, 'cause I know, you were saying, your lawyer was saying you
Our
couldn't.
council says you can't.
But I was gonna refer to the KLC lawyer, Megan Griffin, about that soon, to clarify, but I'm 99% sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I
been in
don't-
touch with them, but they haven't reached back out. They did
I've
contact
not
me
heard, yeah.
once, but I haven't heard
I'll
back
reach
since
out
the
to them
last
tomorrow.
conversation.
I'm not aware, Mayor, I'm not aware of any impediment.
No.
And I kind of get Clay City's thoughts on this, because the way I read the statute, Stanton would have appointment authority, Powell County would have appointment authority, but Clay City would have no appointment authority under the statute. And so if they wanted to direct projects to benefit their municipality, it may be more difficult if they had that. So I understand that, and in my reading of the statute, I see no prohibition against two joining and one not.
So basically, they have to say a separate entity then?
Yeah, they could stay separate, that's.
Just like it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So they just continue on as they are?
They do as they have, and if the two political bodies decide to do what they want to do, then yeah, I see no impediment, regardless of what KLC says.
I think a meeting with us as before,
Yeah.
also about them in good faith to attend, to
Yes, we'll extend
see
that.
if there could be some interest. But if it's done
I
correctly, I
think,
think it work only. if it's
I had
done.
talked to Brian, and I think he was gonna reach out to some of them and just kind of gauge, where they're at. But yeah, we'll extend that when we have her.
I think both call a special meeting, have everybody together, and
Actually.
because some of the, some of the magistrates had some questions the other night that I
Yeah.
couldn't answer. And, so I think everybody get on the same page, and where we do, make sure that we invite.
Yeah, we'd like to be involved, obviously
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, of course.
All
Yeah.
members of tourism should be.
Yeah.
Since it'll affect my
But-
job more than anybody's.
Eddie and I, we're meeting, Bobby's gonna be with us tomorrow, you remember, with that
Yeah.
11, so we'll touch.
It's not
base.
about tourism, it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Foothills, yeah. But we could, we'll extend an invitation. Anyone else?
To you. So when we hired a director, you all told us that we could not pay him the amount that we wanted to pay because there was a pay scale. So is that going to affect him and his salary because?
It should, because we'd be a separate entity.
It'll be a whole
Well,
new thing.
Well,
we
that
were a
was-
separate entity too, but they said that he could not be paid the amount that we had listed because that
Who
was
told you
above
that,
the
Vicky?
pay
So-
scale
Yeah, who's,
that the
Well,
city
the
had.
pay scale was for when you run to the city.
Well, we're
Once
still
you-
under the city.
But you're your own entity, you have your own.
We are an entity
I've
of
been on
the
the
city,
council for a year and a half. I've never had a salary for a tourism director come across.
but that was before that you collected that we hired him. And they said that we could
Well, you
not
hired
pay him
him-
the amount
you
that
hired
we had
him at
paid.
65, which would not have been in the cities,
We hired him at 60,
or 60, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
60, so
but
that
we
would.
were told from you all that we could not pay him that and go through the city, so we paid him
I don't,
through
I don't remember
our separate payroll
that.
account.
Who said that? Us?
All of you,
Is that-
yes.
is that in
The
the
people that
minutes?
were on the council said that he could not be paid that amount because it
I don't
didn't
remember.
fit in with the city payroll.
But you did pay him, like you did pay him, right?
We're paying him ourselves.
Yeah, then I
Well,
don't.
if you're hired by the, if he was hired by the commission, then you have the authority to pay him whatever you want.
But they told us we
So
could.
I'm hired by the commission, which I would obviously also be hired by
Well-
the commission, and so the commission can pay me whatever they want.
Which,
I don't remember us.
But
Yeah.
in our, and I'll let Dodd go on, but in our position, we're giving our money to the joint tourism. There'd be contractual agreements that a certain amount for certain things come back to us.
Who's
But then
paying?
the restaurant tax.
Restaurant tax.
But it's tourism,
So,
it's
yeah.
not the cities.
So restaurant tax would legally go through us.
Yes.
We would then distribute
Exactly.
whatever the agreement, the
Exactly.
agreed upon total would be to the Parks and Rec, which has been historically about 50%, right?
Correct.
So I would assume it would be a similar amount,
Mhm.
and then, yeah, we'd go from there,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they would collect it?
KRS, under
No, I
KRS,
think,
no, under KRS legally, it has to go through us.
Yes, I think, Dodd, if I'm correct, that
Well,
the city has to collect it, but then we send it back to them.
I think it,
Is that correct?
that's not correct.
That's incorrect.
The KRS specifically states that the tourism treasurer collects the taxes.
What KRS states that? I'm on this.
I think if you look at it.
They collect it from,
I-
no,
I
that's
had
not
it-
how
I
I
had
read
it
it.
wrong.
Because I read it that
They
it is
collect it
turned
from the
over.
city.
We
That's
are
where they
required.
collect
Not what it says.
We're
You
required.
don't do the actual
It
collection.
goes through the tourism commission. collects
You
it
receive
first.
the money, but you don't do the actual collection.
Yes, the
City
actual
You
does.
did.
collection.
Statute doesn't.
He
do
had,
that.
okay,
Yes.
so yesterday we watched,
One at a time.
yesterday,
Thank you.
we were given a demonstration on a website that he is using right now, collecting taxes. So it does get collected by the commission. The commission then can distribute it. That's how it's always supposed to be.
There's
That would
several
also be-
KRSs that address that. You might want to read both of them.
It's-
I have read both of them when they're at
KRS, yeah,
home. and-
we're governed by KRS 91A 350.
Yeah.
It refers to collecting from the city.
No, it
We'll-
refers to
we'll-
collecting restaurant tax.
We'll have to have that conversation,
Well,
yeah.
That
So-
will
Well,
obviously
that's-
also be in
The
the.
bottom
Yeah.
line is that you all end up getting it, and then you redistribute.
We'll get past that.
Yeah,
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 that's-
but that's just, that's the one thing that I wanna make sure that we're doing above board.
Exactly.
legally.
Yeah, and we do too.
And-
And
Yeah.
anything that we're gonna be involved in, we.
Yeah, that's
make
where-
sure
who's
that
collecting the cities now?
They do.
You all do?
They do, and then they
And
distribute it.
eventually, we get it.
But that's,
Historically, we've always collected it, historically.
That was the,
But
kind
in
of.
KRS, under my understanding is
Yeah.
that the because it is a tourism commission dollar, that goes to the commission first, then it's distributed out from there.
Goes to them, that's correct. Goes to them after they're collected from us.
No.
No, it's collected by the commission.
We'll have to have the attorney.
Yeah, that's.
We'll work it
obviously
out.
that's why we're having
We
this
didn't
discussion.
have to turn it on.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
I think that's always been a,
To be able to.
That's
write
been,
it.
that's
issue
been a
that
point of
is-
contention,
we'll let the
exactly.
attorney,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We'll get that taken
It
care
says
of.
we're required to turn it over, and I don't know how we turn it over if we don't collect it. It's my position on it.
Yeah, I don't know how you turn it over to y'all.
If we don't have it, how do we turn it over? I don't. I mean, that's obviously interpretation of the law. but
Yeah.
We'll let them handle that, but I can assure you, that's part of the thing about the merger is it will be done right.
Yeah.
There's agreements going on. You know, if we can legally do whatever, I think, we'll leave that up to them, and then, your all's governing body and our governing body will agree on the tax and we'll go forward. I don't think that's a blocker in
No,
the
I
agreement.
don't think it's a deal breaker at all. All right, anyone else?
How do you plan to still retain the events that Stanton Tourism has brought to Stanton,
Yeah.
Kentucky,
They're
the
in the-
city proper?
Yeah, they're in the interlocal agreement.
It would be in the.
What interlocal agreement?
Well, that's.
One we're working
that-
on.
that's
The one
what
we're
we would
working
work
on together.
We would have, and that moving forward, we would have to have an interlocal
Yes.
agreement. And the other thing is, if / when we merge, we would be a big enough organization to where we could probably even hire a new events coordinator.
Yes,
So
I
we
like
have
that.
a potential position that would have that, or the other option is we would have an official subcommittee of Powell County Tourism Board that would be an events subcommittee
Yeah.
that would be just in charge of
Yeah, I love-
Winterfest and Bigfoot and
Yeah.
everything else that you guys do, because those are incredible events and we want to keep those going.
And I think that's what the council's looking for too. I mean, you got carte blanche, once you get that commission set in stone, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
We trust that you're gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
For the
I
city and
I
the
love
county.
the idea of an events
I
coordinator.
think an events coordinator
Yeah.
for the county would be incredible.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And that would be somebody that would be in charge of, Clay City, Stanton, and Slade.
Yes.
And that's been my whole.
That's kind of our expectation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're not a big county, but we are a big county when you start doing
Yeah,
all these
exactly.
things right here.
Yeah.
They gotta be done, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right,
That
you
also
wanna-
being said, currently we're working on a new Powell County tourism brochure that's gonna have a section for Clay City, a section for State,
Good.
and a section for Slade, so we're
So
all inclusive.
basically-
We've always been all inclusive at Powell County Tourism.
So basically, you're already moving in the right direction.
Yes, yes.
You
I like
guys
that.
are pretty good.
We've been working together,
All
yeah, and we
three.
collaborate all the time, and we would continue to do that, and maybe you could chair
Oh,
up the
no,
events committee.
we have been left out of all of this discussion, so I wasn't aware of any of this that had taken
There hasn't been a
place.
lot.
So
Yeah, there hasn't been
Well,
any.
we weren't invited at all. We did not have a seat at
What?
the table. So
Eventually, you would've got there when we kinda worked everything out.
after you had decided what you
No,
wanted to do.
no, not
maybe,
necessarily,
but
no.
not, you
We're-
know.
I'm assuming you're opposed to it.
I am, because I don't think that the events will still continue because unless
Vicky,
they're,
if I'm in charge, they will continue.
so who's gonna do those events?
Sure.
I'm the events coordinator, or you'll be the chair of the subcommittee of the events.
I won't be on that board.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not,
we'll only
I
have
mean,
one
so how do you
tourist
do it?
board.
It would be one tourism
tourism.
board, but you could have subcommittees that break.
Yeah,
off.
yeah, correct.
So there would be
Yeah.
an events
Yeah,
subcommittee.
anybody can be on a committee as part of tourism, whether they are a member of the board or not. They could bring people in to be a committee.
Yeah, I mean, again, everything rises and falls on leadership. I mean, if Pete's in charge, he's been doing a great job so far from what I hear from Powell County. I'm sure that whatever vision plan you have, the commission will go along with it, or, at least you'll go through them. And if they okay it, then
And we don't.
away
plan
you
on-
go.
We don't plan on, I don't plan on sticking my nose in any of it. I'm sure I can speak for the rest of the council. There's an agreement that's gonna govern it. We're gonna give the money from the restaurant tax. It's gonna be, everything's gonna be spelled out what happens with it, and then Pete's gonna manage it and run it. I don't plan on sticking my nose in it, as long as the agreement's being followed. That's why the agreement is.
That's why
is
that's why we
important.
have the.
Yeah, you gotta have the interlocal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete always involved, comes and, tells us
Hmm?
quarterly, or if there's the events, when there's new big events coming, he always loops us in. and
Yeah,
he
Eddie
does-
requested I come to fiscal court quarterly and I give an
Yeah.
update,
Yeah.
and if you guys request, I do the same for you guys.
Yeah. He does a great job at it, and I'm for it if Pete's running it. If not, then I'll take my toys and go home, but
Yeah.
that's how I feel that, because he runs such a
You're running
good.
for reelection, though.
I don't, that's not part of it.
I know it. I'm just joking.
I've dedicated 47 years of my life volunteering for this county, so I don't.
I know, you do a great job, we
Yeah,
appreciate
so,
it.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, but,
Oh, absolutely.
Pete does a good job. He keeps us in the loop. We know what's going on, and we're always there if he needs something. We stuff. Communication flows back and forth.
That's right.
And I want him to be happy because I'm scared that somebody from the state's going to offer him another job.
JL, I know one thing, there's not a person sitting at this table is not in favor of him running.
Well, and I don't, unless I'm missing something,
I don't-
it's your responsibility to hire him.
Yeah, we would.
It's not the city's.
Well,
it's-
Well, that'd be the new,
we're-
I'll
yeah.
be
the new tourist.
Tourism
commission.
commission.
Yeah.
It'd be a new
Well,
tour.
but that falls under the.
But they're appointed by you and.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and,
appointments
uh,
would essentially stay somewhat the same, there'd still be a 7-member board, but
Right.
you guys would have maybe like, I think you guys would have maybe 2 or 3 seats. And then
3 probably.
2 or 3, and then.
I think
What's the total
two and
percentage?
two, and you'd have one, I'd have one, then we'd have
mean, the board we have currently, number one, I'm just gonna go ahead and say is awesome. And we work really
Yeah,
well
they are.
together, and we also represent every single area of the county. And so I think right now.
Pete's great, but he couldn't do it without a great board.
Exactly, yeah. We've got a great chair, and we do good things.
We are better together.
You know, we stand divided, we fall.
There you go.
Does
All right.
the magistrates, do y'all have any questions for
Yeah,
us?
that's what I was
Technicalities that I-
Jay or
Dennis,
Dan?
Dale,
You got any questions, Dennis?
Answered.
Okay.
I guess once we see the agreement, we
Yeah.
can go from there.
Yeah. Okay, you haven't seen the agreement yet?
No, we haven't done anything.
So, do we need to get that in their hands?
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, that'd be the next step.
Okay.
Next step, ask
And
more
then,
questions.
And of course, he would work it through Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
yeah, they've been
I'll
working
give-
together, him
I'll
and
give
Robert.
yeah.
And Eddie and I have been talking, so now it's to bring city council and magistrates together.
So you have some kind of draft of an interlocal.
Yeah,
Current-
Yeah.
yep,
Actually, we have two drafts of one
Or-
interlocal and then the.
the ordinance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah, it's all
And-
pretty well.
and I haven't seen the ordinance, so that's the reason why I haven't brought it to you yet, so. we're
Yeah,
waiting.
yeah, I'd like to see, obviously. I'd
Yeah,
like to see all
But
this.
it's
it's
very
something like
sim-
this, this is the first time we're coming out public. I mean, I don't know what, we wouldn't announce something like this, you know, some of this groundwork with the legalities and stuff has been very carefully hashed through and hashed out, because like kind of getting your hopes up for nothing, and it seems like it's a likely thing as long as both bodies can agree on policy. But this is us coming out and telling our plan, so.
So when is this gonna take place?
I think we looked at March, didn't we?
Possibly March,
Yeah.
yeah. If we get all our ducks in a row
Yep.
by then.
I think we maybe get together next week, possibly. How would we do that, Don? Would it just be an informal thing, or?
We would, I would
Would have to be,
suggest
if
that,
it's-
that you have a joint
Both
city
parties.
county, meeting and
That'd be a
then,
special meeting.
you know, have a discussion about it and then, you know.
Public
then-
forum or-
But I mean,
Yeah,
is it-
public forum and then everybody could
Public,
vote.
okay.
Get a final
Yeah, we
draft
have to
of
Yeah.
both
get it.
documents out to
Yeah.
everybody, and then come together, and if somebody has concerns, we can hash it out across the table and try to come to an agreement.
Yeah, nothing to be voted on, just for discussion, open discussion.
Well, it would be the pleasure of the bodies. I mean, if you wanted to have a public forum first, you could, and follow that up by a vote at separate meetings, or it's whatever. I mean, it can be constructed any way you want it to. So, if you want to do a forum, and then digest that information and have a vote, you can do that.
Well, Vicki had asked about the timeline, so we have this public forum we're gonna have jointly, so we can get questions back and forth and make sure there's no miscommunication. And then we go back to respective bodies and vote on, we vote on a resolution,
or
they
have
vote
a-
on their ordinance.
Or have another joint meeting and everybody votes. I
You
mean,
do
it'd
it
be
at one
how,
time.
you could
Okay.
do it at one time, or you could have two meetings, or you
Then
could
we
have
have
three
exec-
meetings. You could have one public forum with both bodies, and then two more meetings where everybody goes back and votes. Or you could have one joint meeting where you, cast your vote at the end of the public forum, or you could have a second meeting, joint meeting where you cast your vote after you had that first public hearing. It's however the judge and the mayor wants to construct the actual, process, cause you all are in charge of the process.
And then legally, what's the next step after that?
Well, yeah,
Or
that's,
form a commission.
yeah, that's where it gets interesting. We would have to, the respective bodies would have to follow any ordinance that was adopted. The statute pretty much lays out how people get appointed to the board, and the judge was talking about that. It's very formulaic, how you do it. And so that process would have to be
They'll
observed.
start you base.
Yeah, the more interesting thing, and one that at this point in time I don't have the answer to, is the winding up of the affairs of the Powell County, board and the, Stanton board.
See, that's my question.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in the middle of planning, well, we pretty much have everything planned for the Bigfoot Festival, and that brings in 12 to 15,000 people here. And we're also in the process of making Stanton the official Bigfoot Fest of Kentucky. So that's that's actually on the floor at stake to be looked at. So, you know, I volunteer, Vicky volunteers a lot of our time and energy into this, and it just, you know, we do stuff not just at meetings, but I do stuff at home where I'm talking to people, talking to vendors, and, you know, then you're just gonna get rid of the board that's planning the Bigfoot Fest and put other people in place that don't have relationships with these people.
Well, hopefully, and, you know, that's a.
That's my
that's
concern,
a-
that's my
a valid-
concern,
and that's a
because
valid
That is a valid
concern.
concern.
because we built relationships with these people to bring more people into here. And we're trying to make it bigger, we're trying to make it a 2-day event where we have to maybe look at another venue to put it at.
I think the answer to that is the subcommittee.
Transition
Yeah.
period with the subcommittee.
Yeah, the,
The subcommittee's not gonna know what's going on.
Well, you
I'm
are
not-
this, you would be the
You would-
subcommittee.
Yeah, you come
You
to-
guys would be the subcommittee. I mean, you've done all
Why
the work
would
and.
we want to be the subcommittee if we're not on the board? I mean,
Yeah.
So y'all are saying your position is, and
No,
I'll
that's
be as
not my-
professional as I
that's
can,
not-
y'all are
that's
gonna be
not-
so upset about it, you're not willing to give
No,
the
that's not
information.
my position at all, but that's my
Well, that
concern
sounds
is,
what Vicky, that sounds like what
that's
Vicky's
what
saying.
you're saying,
I
y'all,
didn't
it's,
say that. I'm
You
just
said, why
saying.
would we wanna give the information?
I didn't say give the information. I said, why would we want to go out and do this if we're not gonna be serving on the board? Why
You would
would
be
I
serving in a
go?
different capacity. You wouldn't have voting power, but you'd still be, you're not paid as a Stanton Tourism Commissioner, are you?
No.
There'll
So
be,
you wouldn't be
No.
doing this either.
there'll be
So
one
it's
commission,
essentially.
one commission, that's what there'll be.
I mean,
And
your
then-
whole board is gonna be different as well.
Well,
I
that would
mean,
be part of the discussion, and I would hope that we could maybe try to keep most of my same board for this initial period at least, and moving forward, so we can have a pretty smooth transition. But that would be part of the discussion
Yeah.
that I would like to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, we haven't got, some of the nuts and bolts of
Yeah.
this. but-
and because we have other things that we're doing besides Bigfoot, you know, we're planning
Yeah.
for summer, concerts, you know, we have,
Yeah.
So time's of the essence.
Yes.
I just wanna make sure this stuff that we have planned, that we're telling people that we're doing, and we're giving people this money, with money to RC and all this is gonna be accepted, because, you know, we do, you know, Pete does a great job, I don't know Pete, but I know he does a great job because, because I see what he does, and I go to these events,
Yeah.
but it's like, you guys think that we just don't do anything.
That's not what we're saying.
But
No,
that's how I feel.
We're putting
because-
it, so we just all said, and I said it, take personal feelings out of it. This is what is best for the people, you live in Stanton and you pay taxes, correct?
Yes.
You want us.
I don't agree with some of the taxes, but I pay.
Okay, but you do. But here's the deal, do you want us to be as efficient as we can? And I think it would be hard, other than just being personally upset at the decision, to say that a joint commission is not a more efficient use of tax money, restaurant tax money coming in, than having 2 to 3 commissions.
I understand the
Take the
efficiency.
personal side out of it.
Okay,
And I
understand the-
respect and I appreciate
I
stuff
understand the
you've done.
efficiency,
I
I get
think-
that,
I
I
think-
understand the efficiency.
Yeah.
I just think that you're discarding one board and going totally towards another and not,
No.
but that's how it looks.
Can I
I'm just
ask-
telling you how it
Can-
looks.
can
Can I
say
ask you a
something?
question real quick?
Eddie?
Do you not work with county on a lot of the tourism things within the city?
We asked them for donations. Have we actually gone and done anything with them? No. They have come to ours because
But you don't
they
have discussions openly all the time with the county
No,
tourism?
I mean, no, we haven't. I mean,
'Cause it
I
seems like a
go
lot
We
of-
to-
work pretty closely with you.
The reason I make that, reason I say that, you know, my observation in the last however long is that when I see things on social media, it seems like Stanton and the county are doing a lot of events that are kind of crossing each other's paths, so to speak. And that includes Bigfoot, that includes Corn Festival, whatever. It seems like it affects both parties involved. So to put them together and be more efficient just makes sense to everybody. And in terms of the budget, why wouldn't you want that money being used more efficiently for everybody, not just the city, but in the county as well?
Because what I see is, I don't think that things will happen or continue to happen in the city of Stanton. I live in the city of Stanton, have lived in the city of Stanton for all of my years that I have been here. I've never lived anywhere but in the city. So I don't foresee those events continuing to happen because we have racked our brains to try to find
But that would be
things.
in the interlocal
It It's-
agreement
it-
that we
bring
would continue
to
to
the
fund those
city.
It-
events.
To answer
That's
your,
the main-
to answer your question, it's in the interlocal agreement, all those events will
What
continue.
events?
Would ensure whatever.
Yeah,
event you're
Bigfoot,
talking
Winter
That's
Winter
part of the
Festival,
discussion is that we would,
Winterfest,
you know,
all that are in there, plus it says and more.
But
One of
again,
the things that I'm seeing is you all are assuming that you won't be put back on.
Right.
You know,
Well-
and-
We can only have 7,
And
right?
that's the thing, you know, that nobody knows who's gonna be put on there until.
Till the
names
people
and
make
such
their-
Yeah, recommendations.
and so those would come to you, correct?
It
Because
comes to
it's
both
gonna
of
be,
us, yeah.
No,
it would come to
Both.
both?
Yeah.
yeah.
But, so, here's the deal, so. We do go to the county and ask them, I've been to county events, and they've come to our events. But have we gone and helped them with an event that they're doing?
No, I wouldn't imply that,
No.
I'm just saying, the events seem to cross each other's paths. with
We promote
what you
each
all-
other's events
Right,
because
Exactly.
we've
That's why I
got
paid
a
for
good
two
Which which is the way it should
person
be.
that does that. I mean, and
we
that's what
essentially
it
save
should be.
$60,000 a year just for not having 2 directors.
That's what I meant, I didn't mean anything other than
Yeah.
that.
And here's the
also-
deal, we're not, this isn't, we haven't just come out and said, oh, our Stanton Tourism's doing a bad job, we've gotta find something to merge with the county. We're not, that's not been discussed.
This has been
This is an
ongoing discussion
opportunity,
between
this has been a
us.
discussion for
Unite and
years,
grow.
and it's an opportunity to merge. I mean.
Unite, grow.
Because also history
I
has
mean, why-
shown
why-
that Stanton Tourism has
Streamline.
had 6 different directors in 6 different years. So
And,
that's, I don't
and
think
the
that's
board,
very
and the
good
turnover on the
track
board.
record either.
The turnover on the board has been,
Yeah.
it's been volatile, which is.
And I'd also like to say one thing in regards to your comments about Bigfoot Festival is there a reason why we're rushing now to do this? Like, if we wanted to, like, wait until, like, maybe we could flesh out the Bigfoot Festival and, like, some of the things you are working out, and maybe look into this, like, sometime during the summer, to let them kind of have their events and kind of wrap up the things that they're already have in the works. Because the Bigfoot Festival is a huge deal for the county, and it brings in a lot of money to the county.
Again,
So I don't know if we
we
need,
can-
I don't know if there is like a sense of urgency to this, or if we
No.
can like kind of like ease into it, make sure we're doing it all right, and make sure that this goes off without a
Yeah.
hitch, because this is a big deal. If it doesn't go off well, it would look really
Yeah,
bad.
I think the answer to that again is when we all get together, the joint meeting, you'll be part of that. And I think we can work that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where we differ in boards is this. So the county gives sponsorships to people that come in to ask for sponsorships, whereas Stanton Tourism goes out and actually hosts these events and puts these on. I was there every night except for maybe 2 for Winterfest when these people were coming out to skate. I can't see the board from Powell County Tourism coming to Winterfest and sitting there for 15 or 20 nights for 5-6 hours a night and being there the whole time and being actively involved in that.
Well, that's why we have an
Yeah.
event
I
subcommittee that
went
would be in charge
out
of those
and
things.
I had schools that came from Estill County. The bank in Estill County paid for both of their elementary schools to bring them to come and skate. And I had a group that came, the school from Montgomery County to come. And that was sponsored by somebody out of the county to bring those in. And then those kids came back and skated later in the week and brought their families and other people with them. So unless you've got them that are willing to do these events won't happen.
Well, I think the answer to that again is we're gonna have a tourism commission. And we don't know who's gonna be on it at this particular time.
I understand that,
So,
but
part of,
we
part of-
are different here in the city than they are in the county.
Their approach, you mean, is different.
No, it's a different,
It's a different approach.
no, it's different because they've got the Red River Gorge. They've got a draw. Here in the city, we've got the city park, and basically, that's it. There's nothing else here.
And that's a big draw.
And we bring people in for these festivals for that, to use the city park and to promote the city park. But theirs is completely different, so it's
We also
like,
promote all those events that happen
Oh,
at the city park.
I know you do,
as well.
I know, you post those on your
And-
website.
And I
we
think they
appreciate
promote yours.
that,
Yeah.
But,
So,
you know, we do vice versa.
It would
And-
just be an extension of what they're already doing, they just have an event coordinator that coordinates and get the volunteers or whatever
Yeah.
needs to be done for the ice rink or whatever else. I mean,
I just think that if you would have been upfront with this and not just, this is what, you know, because you've already made your votes. You already sat here and said, you're going to vote.
We're all for it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
And I'm fine with efficiency, but I would just like us, we would like a seat at the table to say what our piece is and what we think we're doing. And I'm just concerned with the festivals that we have ongoing. That's my
That's a
biggest
valid
concern right
concern.
now.
And I can tell you some, Parks and Rec will take some of the Winterfest, we're involved in it,
But we pay the salaries.
I understand that, I'm just
So-
saying. That's why we're gonna ask them to continue to help us
It
support.
would be the
Yeah,
same, I would
yeah,
assume it'd be
it's the same agreement, yeah.
Or whatever you all, I mean, it's going to, I mean, you all will, you know, kind of, whatever you all think, I mean, that's the point of it, you all are gonna have a, and it's, again, not a knock on the Stanton Tourism. Stanton Tourism did a good job in the last little bit as I've been a council. It's an efficient use of taxpayer money. It's not a, oh, we hate our tourism commission, let's merge it. It's an opportunity that has come about with players on both sides willing to do it. It's best for the community. And I know there's gonna be people, I expected you all to oppose it. There's gonna be people for it and against it. But I think I was put in this seat and with the rest of my colleagues here to do what's best for the citizens. And I think this bleeds over into the county, that it's best for the county, it's best for the city, it's a win-win. And as you said, there's not much of a draw. You know, most of our tourism is undeniably, they come to the Red River Gorge. And we get the side effect of that tourism mostly. I think that translates into just about all of it, but, you know, I think this is the best way to grow it, with both, they would have a larger budget, they already have people, and it kind of abstracts it all the way into more efficient use. So,
Yeah, I think it's just a way to, streamline things, to grow it, to make it bigger. Powell County in general, Stanton as a hub, or the county seat, our city park does so much with, you know, I mean, ball tournaments and Winterfest and all the stuff, you know, just all the events that go on at City Park. Powell County can be a powerhouse in tourism in the state of Kentucky. I just think it's a more efficient way to do that, and still have, you know, our folks from Stanton involved with their subcommittees on each event that goes on, and just grow tourism here in the whole county.
Yeah, and
countywide.
we hear you. I
City,
mean,
county, and.
This is gonna be Stanton/Powell County.
Yes.
Right.
So It's not gonna be.
it's not,
Powell
we're not
County/Stanton.
giving our stuff to the county, it's gonna be rebranded to Stanton/Pike.
You had a legitimate concern
You do.
about
Right,
Bigfoot
but it's-
too.
I don't,
Right.
is that just been decided that it would be called
No,
the
no,
same
it's-
Powell County?
no,
or-
No, I'm just saying that.
We were just following the patterns in Mountain and
That's a
Montgomery
good ring
County
to it.
as such.
Yeah, I know
And
they
I know
have
you-
Mount Sterling, Montgomery County, Georgetown, Scott County, tourism. There are a lot of
Winchester,
the
Clark
counties, Winchester, Clark County, so on and so forth, that are that way. It just seems more efficient to me. That's just my thoughts.
No, I get that, trust me, I'm all
Right.
about efficiency, I get it.
Absolutely.
And Billy and I have had conversations before about certain things, and, my concern is, I don't want the work that we've done for Bigfoot to go for naught. And then we lose that festival, because that brings a lot of money into the city.
I put my face in Pete that that's not gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
We agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
and that's why I wanna make sure that you
No, I
guys
get
can
it.
continue to
That's
do
my
like the
concern.
good work that you're doing.
But I think the Bigfoot is so big in Kentucky and in the gorge. I mean, you hear so much of it there that's, if you're promoting it in the gorge area too, you know, that brings them in here. I don't think it's really, you think of it as just something that happens in Stanton. It's the whole, you know,
It's
this
called
whole
Red River
area.
Gorge Bigfoot Festival, so at the Stanton City Park.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
think this can be resolved by March.
Well,
No, and that's my thing as well. Is
Well, I mean, you have to set a goal, though.
Yeah.
That's
You
kind
have
of
to
what we
start
did.
somewhere. I think
It may be extended, you know, that's how goals are, you know.
You have to start somewhere. We can talk about it for 2 years, or we can get started on
Yeah.
making the budget.
But I do agree, and I would personally fully support a public forum.
Yes.
As
Yeah,
well.
we already decided that.
And that's my whole thing when I first started in this role is also, I'm fully open, fully transparent with everything I do, and I would want that to continue
Yeah.
forward with
And
everything.
that's the
that's
same
happening
as us,
with
too.
this right
Yeah.
here.
And that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
We're live on Facebook and everything, YouTube, we stream our meetings. That's why we're here today. We're telling the world that we would like to do this, so.
I can see going forward of a transition period, maybe we set a goal or whatever it may be, or just let it, see how it flows. But I can see where Vicky's coming from. And I don't know you, but I see where you're coming from. You put a lot of effort in what you do, and I know Vicky has her own lifetime. I've known her my whole life. And there's nothing says that you guys may not end up back on it. I mean, you're doing a good job. And the Bigfoot Festival, the Corn Festival, whatever it be, Pete will make sure that the Stanton city and you guys are represented. I have no doubt in my mind.
And that would be in the interlocal agreement, is that we would fund,
Yeah.
to help fund the
Yeah.
Corn Festival.
Simple as that, we've still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't wanna rush into anything.
No, it's a
No,
good start.
no.
We gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
We're not merging them together tonight, and you're not taking, so it's.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Let me close this way. I don't know if I can quote it directly, but the tourism director was at a meeting here, up here at the depot, and had a conversation with someone, and he said this with regard to a joint tourism commission, is that then Powell County could become a powerhouse in tourism. That was-
Well, that's-
those are his
that's the
direct.
State tourism director.
Yeah, that's who it was. I didn't know who it was,
Yeah.
but
well, how
that,
many people come here? How many million
Yeah.
come through the gorge,
a couple million.
you know?
All right,
And more and
thank
more
you.
every year.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
All right, second. All in favor? All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you all.